10 days ago, I didn't have my domain name. I had zero blog and zero server and no app idea yet. But today, I have a domain name, rainvan.com. I have a server, a blog, incredible AI tools, a content plan, and yet I'm going to start working on my apps. So I'm ready to go. I documented every step I've taken so far, and I'm going to show you today. I plan to build in public and take you through the journey. So this isn't AI content. This is a lived experience. Building anything in public is uncomfortable because you're going to fail many times and you have to show these failures. For example, look at Elon Musk. He's always posting about his rocket launches, taking the public through the journey. Of course, you're also going to succeed and you have to show those successes. But the reason why it's extremely powerful to build in public is that it gives you free distribution, it gives you momentum, and most importantly, it turns viewers into users, customers, and fans. I got this idea from Levels on X, who is always creating something and posting the ugly processes. On X, he once launched one startup app every month, and that really became hugely successful for him. So I like the idea very much. It's cool. I plan to build apps, quizzes, and front-end designs, anything, and simply post the process. Not just the result, but the process. People are always happy to follow someone who is still learning and figuring things out because they are also going to learn something from the journey. Most people prefer the easy way, but I chose the hard way on purpose. And I'm going to explain to you. I'm choosing DigitalOcean for my server to host my apps and projects, which I'll be sharing with you right here. And the reason is simple. You learn a lot about how a server really works when you host your sites and apps on your server. A service like DigitalOcean gives you that. Managed platforms like Firebase, Vercel, Netlify, and Superbase teach you nothing. You know very little. And when your traffic and apps start to grow, they become extremely expensive to maintain. That's why I decided to host my projects on my own server so I can learn a lot about server security and management. Okay, I'm going to be using my DigitalOcean server for all my apps, all my projects. So I want to start with something simple and something that could work even with a lot of traffic and users when I start to get traction. So I want to set up my server. Actually, it's called a Droplet on DigitalOcean. So I'm choosing Premium AMD as my disk type. I'm selecting the plan that gives me 4 gig of RAM and 80 gig of storage. That's enough for everything I want to do. I'm also choosing daily automated backups. That only costs like about $9 per month. And for a total of $40 per month, I have the complete freedom to build plenty of apps without crashing my server. So I can keep launching a project until something succeeds. This gives me enough space to do what I want and also learn server management at the same time. Finding the perfect name for your brand, app, or whatever you're building is one of the hardest things nobody tells you about. So I had to spend a full 4 days searching for a good name for my site, for my brand name. I think I probably tried like 200 names before I settled for Rainvan. It was only the domain name available that I liked a little bit more, but it's not perfect, but I didn't want to continue searching for a name after 4 days. So I had to stop and just went with it. The name is short and actually not available on social media platforms, but well, the domain name itself was available, so I registered it. So I used Namecheap to register the domain name. Namecheap is one of the best and easiest places to register your domain name. I think I've been using it since the very first time I registered my first domain name, and that was probably almost 18 years ago. Registering your domain name for your app or project is an important step, but you also have to connect your new domain name to your hosting service. For me, I have to connect my domain name, reinvent.com, from Namecheap to my Droplets on DigitalOcean. It was pretty simple, super easy. So I had to go to DigitalOcean and had my domain name, which I'd registered with Namecheap. So DigitalOcean then gave me their name servers. On Namecheap, I added those name servers to my custom DNS in the Namecheap dashboard. And that was it. DigitalOcean now recognizes my domain name. So I'm ready to start. I chose Ghost as my blog for one reason. It lets me self-host. I have total control and freedom over my content and data. Other blogging platforms like WordPress and Substack are good, but the problem is that I don't like them for one reason or another. I don't think they're perfect. I used to be a fan of WordPress actually, but today the app is really bloated. While Substack isn't that bad, it doesn't give me much freedom to do what I want. Of course, I will use Substack for marketing, but it will not be my primary blogging platform. So Ghost is simple. It gives me speed and a clean writing experience, which is why I'm going to be using it for my project. There's no question that there are two main AI tools right now that are dominating the market, GPT and Claude. And I use both, and I can tell you the difference between both of them. I was actually undecided about which to use when I started, but of course, I decided to give both of them a try before picking my favorite. Claude is really extremely smart in coding. Even when you're using the lower models, it can do a lot more in one prompt without misbehaving or doing things you don't want it to do. And it gets a lot of things right. On the other hand is GBT. It starts to struggle a little bit when you give it too much, when you ask it to do too much at a go. But GBT often flags serious problems that Claude might miss, and some of these mistakes can be very costly if you miss them. I would say that GBT is broader. It gives me broad knowledge. It tells me everything I need to know and do. Claude just focuses on the task at hand. It doesn't tell me what I need to do in the future or anything like that. It tells me what I need to do now to move forward to the next step. That doesn't mean one is better than the other. It simply depends on what I want to do at the moment. Claude improves my productivity and GBT prevents serious mistakes. So what I do is I use both. But if I must choose one, I would say Claude. It's just so productive and smart. Although it can be more expensive. You just have to be a little bit careful with how you use it. I designed 80% of my Ghost blog with Claude, and it doesn't look bad at all if you look at it. To be honest with you, I'd never designed an entire theme from start to finish before. No, this is my first time, and I'm really surprised that I did what I did within 2 days. Maybe I can do it in a day next time I try, because now I have more experience. I only had to use GBT a few times, especially when I wanted to check whether Claude had missed any problems, anything that I need to know. And the experience was really fun for me. I enjoyed using both of them, comparing the results with each other. Okay, now that my server is set up on DigitalOcean, I have a blog, and I'm so ready to start creating my apps, everything, quizzes. Now I need a content plan. This is the part that matters most because many developers tend to overlook this part and they pay dearly for it. If you release anything without distribution or promotion, nobody will know about it. Your app simply won't be successful because no one knows about it. No one knows it exists. So what I want to do is I plan to focus primarily on videos. I'm going to be using screenshots and screen recordings of the process when I have when building my apps to actually showcase what I'm learning, what I'm building, and why. I plan to document my journey rather than come up with creative ideas for what to write. You start thinking about content, start trying to force contents. That's not what I want to do. I don't think marketing needs to be hard. It can be simple. I don't have to force it. So what I'm going to do is record my development process and simply talk about it. That's it. It's not fun, but it's going to be educating and interesting to a lot of people. Coming up with app ideas doesn't have to be complicated. For me, number one is looking at my life, my own life, and seeing ideas for things I can improve with an app. I've been thinking of several ideas, maybe something that helps me, with my posture, so that I have a better posture. A lot of people are struggling with postures. It can be something that helps me track my time so that I better manage my time. Another great way is to go out there and see what people are talking about on places like Reddit. Reddit is really a great place for app ideas. You can see what problems and inefficiencies people are really talking about and think of apps that could actually help them solve their problems. I can also see what people are building by searching in the app stores and on product hunts. There are cool app ideas everywhere on these places. The most important thing is to notice something and just create an app for it without thinking about it much. And that's it for this video. In the next video, I'm going to build something. Building starts now. I don't know what I'm going to build yet, but I have a couple of ideas. I'm sure I will be sharing it with you on this channel. Stay tuned and make sure you follow me for more videos because the next few videos are going to be really interesting. Thank you for watching. Thank you.